This video is gonna be so real. I can't believe that I delivered a baby. My name is Janet for those who are returning to watch this video, or for new people that are stumbled upon this video. Hi, my name is Janet and I'm going to be sharing my birth story with you guys today. So first of all, I just want to share with you guys that my baby boy Ezra was born on June 4th, 2016. It was a Saturday and he was born at 10:27 p.m. For me, I was able to vlog a little bit, and I will add those clips and everything at the end of this video. I kind of just want to tell you a quick overview of what happened with labor and delivery and how everything went for both of us. So beginning that week, if you guys seen my other vlogs and everything, the thing that made labor kind of go on, because I was 39 weeks and I was just like trying all these crazy things to get labor and started naturally, and the thing that's really helped me was doing squats. So I did squats on that week prior. It was a Wednesday. I did 20 squats, and then that Thursday morning my mucus plug fell out. And when I talk about the mucus plug, is like, I thought it was just going to be a little bit, but it kept coming all day. It was pretty disgusting. It was like a lot of big chunks of mucus. There wasn't any blood or anything in it. It was just a really heavy discharge that I've never experienced before. So that Thursday I lost my mucus plug. I was losing it all day, and I actually called the doctor because I was kind of concerned with the amount of mucus that was coming out. So I called them and they told me that that was fine, that it could be 2 weeks after that I give birth to my son, which I was not wanting to have. So that night, Thursday night, I did some more squats. I did about 10 squats, and then it was honestly like the weirdest thing in the world, because I put a pad on, and because I knew it was just going to keep coming, and it just kept filling up and filling up. And it was just the weirdest feeling because you can't stop it, and it feels like you're just peeing yourself over and over again. Like for me, it was just little bits at a time, but it was just the worst feeling in the world, not being able to control that, and just knowing that you were sitting in all this liquid and things like that. It was so gross. So I knew that something was going on. By this time it was 4:50, and I called my mom and I told her, hey, it's time to go to the hospital. We gotta go get checked out, make sure this is actually my water being broken, or I'm just peeing myself over and over again. But we went to the hospital. We got there around 5 a.m. Me and my husband actually got there a little later than my mom did, because I know that once they put the IV in, you were not allowed to eat any food. So we were driving around trying to find places that were open so we can get some breakfast. Once we got to the hospital, it was about 5:10 in the morning. My mom was worried because we didn't get there right away when she did. She was there before us, and she had a wheelchair ready for me, which I didn't really want to be sitting in a wheelchair just with all the liquid that was coming out of me. So we went to the 3rd floor, which was labor and delivery, and we checked in. The nurse got us back into triage. She looked at the pad and just, she's like, yep, your water broke. So we were waiting around for the doctor for about 15 minutes, and she's like, we need to get you in a room. So they took us to a room, and then we got all set. They gave me a chance to eat my breakfast sandwich, because they did let me know that once the IV was hooked up and everything, I was on a clear liquid diet, which was like Jellos, Gatorades, juices, popsicles, things like that. So I had a chance to eat one breakfast sandwich from Jack in the Box. And it's crazy because we got hooked up to all the machinery in probably about 5:30, and let me mind you that I didn't even give birth until 10:27 at night. So that whole day I was without food. I was just drinking liquids and stuff. So it was pretty crazy to be in labor and delivery and just be so exhausted by the end of the day and only have liquids in your system. So my labor started pretty slow. When I got there, I was only 1 centimeter dilated. My contractions didn't come very fast. They started really slow, so the process took basically all day to get fully kicked into gear. So to speed up the process, by 2 o'clock I got my first dose of Ventolin, which is a pain medication. I believe that's how you say it. It's an injection into your IV, and it's just a pain medication that makes you and baby drowsy, which I wanted to start off with something before the epidural just to see how that helped me. And I did get about 3 doses of that before my epidural. I got 1 dose, the first one, which really helped. The second dose really didn't work at all. And then the third dose I got right before I got my epidural. Yes, I got an epidural. And it actually helped because it really calmed me down. The medicine really calmed me down and was able to be relaxed, because the way that the medicine makes you feel is really drowsy, and just like they explained it to me, they're like, you're gonna feel like you're drunk. So when I was on the medication, my eyes were closed the whole time. I have some little marks here in my phone. So I remember that they checked me probably about 4 o'clock, and I was 4 to 5 centimeters dilated. So there was progression, and I think the medication helped because with the contractions, they were just pretty painful. It was mostly in my pelvic area. And then they started traveling to my back. Once the contractions started traveling to my back, it was the worst pain that I felt in my life. It was totally fine and good when they were in my pelvic area and my stomach, but for some reason they changed, and all the pain and all the contractions went to my back, which was the worst pain ever because I was just in bed. I tried to walk around, and I did get a little bit of walking around done, which was really nice. But once I stood up, I could feel all the pressure and all the pain, and it was just all in my lower back, which was killing me. By then, I got my 3rd dose of the Ventolin, and then they came in and did my epidural. About 4:45, they came to do my epidural. Honestly, I wasn't really nervous because I had just gotten a dose of the medication, the Ventolin, through my IV, so I wasn't that nervous. In the back of my head, I was scared because I've heard a lot of horror stories saying that the epidural didn't work. It only worked on half of their body, or crazy things like that. So, of course, for me, being a first-time mom, being a first-time delivering a child, it was really scary. But I didn't feel scary because of the medication. It had me really calm, so I was just kind of relaxing. But the anesthesiologist came in, got me all prepped. It was actually really fast to me. I didn't feel anything, which was amazing. I thank God for that. And because I know they have to put this huge needle in you and things like that. I've seen epidurals be done before on YouTube because I've looked it up. But yeah, it was just crazy because I thought I was going to feel like this huge needle going in my back, and I didn't really feel anything. To me, it flew by really fast. The guy that did it was amazing. So I'm very thankful for that. Once the epidural was in, I didn't feel anything. My contractions by then were coming every 1 to 2 minutes. And the lady said that they looked like they were pretty strong. I didn't feel anything. I had relief. I could feel pressure, which is normal, which is expected. But yeah, it works awesome. Shortly after they gave me my epidural, they checked me about 15-20 minutes later. By that time, it was about 5:30, I believe. And I'm just reading my notes here. And it looks like I was 7 centimeters dilated and 90% effaced. So with the epidural, it really sped up my process with dilation and stuff. So I was really thankful for that. And we were more closer to see our baby boy. Honestly, after the epidural, I really don't remember too much, and it's not that I was out of it or anything. I was just so exhausted. I was sleeping part of the time. My mom said that I looked really relieved after the epidural. I was just so uncomfortable and in so much pain before I got it. So after I got the epidural, I really rested until it was time to push. When you get the epidural, they put a catheter in, so you're like bed rest. You can't go anywhere. So I was in my bed until I gave delivery. So the last thing I remember was probably around that 5:30 mark that they checked me. I remember they checked me a few other times, and they told me that I was complete, which meant that I was 10 centimeters dilated, 100% effaced, that they could feel baby's head moving down. So that was exciting. And I think I started pushing around 8:30 because they told me that I did push for 2 hours. Um, they let me labor down, which means that I was just resting, letting baby kind of move down in the birth canal, and I was letting him get lower and lower without having to manually like push him out. So I did labor down is what they call it. So we did that, and then we pushed for 2 hours, and baby Ezra was born. Now with the epidural, I was able to feel all the pressure, which was pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie, it was really intense pressure. I've never felt anything like that. It was pressure. I wouldn't say it was pain, but it was uncomfortable. It was discomfort. Um, I remember when the doctor came in, or actually before the doctor came in, the nurses were calling in like, we need the doctor right now. She's about to give birth. And they had me hold him in position where he was for about 25 minutes, which was the worst thing in the world because you're in that position and you're like, I need to push right now. Like, and they're like, don't push. We have to wait for the doctor. So it was just a crazy feeling to know that his head was right there, and I couldn't do anything about it because we were just waiting for the doctor. Once the doctor got in, he was surprised at how far the head was down and ready to go. Once the doctor got in, it only took a few pushes after that to get him out. It was the craziest feeling because once his head came out, I could feel it, but it wasn't painful. It was the weirdest thing in the world. I knew that his head was out, and they kind of told me to stop, which kind of worried me because I was pushing and pushing for the longest time, 2 hours. And then they tell me to stop once his head came out, which I was like concerned. But I guess that I tore, so they didn't want me to be making more strength than I needed to because I probably would have torn more. And I could feel when the doctor was like manipulating the baby out of me. It was the weirdest feeling in the world, but it was so amazing. I did have my eyes closed a lot of the time just because I was so exhausted and I didn't want to see everyone around me and all this equipment and stuff. I didn't want to freak myself out. But I could feel them manipulating his body out of me, which was the craziest feeling in the world. But it was so amazing just knowing that I was able to feel that without any pain was just so marvelous. So now 10/27, baby Ezra Noel was born, and it was the most craziest thing. I was crying, my mom was crying, everybody was so emotional. The people that were in my delivery room was my mom, my husband, and my best friend Selena. And then my husband's sister was in there. I don't know how that happened, but I wasn't going to kick her out by the time that all that was happening. She was just kind of in the background. But it was crazy. They pulled him out and put him onto my chest. He was very purple and very swollen. He had a cone head, which is funny. I don't know why I think cone heads are so funny. But they put him on my chest. They started to clean him, and all this yucky stuff came out of his mouth, and which was good. He was coughing up all the stuff he probably inhaled during delivery. He was weighing 7 pounds, 11 ounces. He was 20 inches. And it was just the most beautiful thing in the world. I would go back and do it 100 times again. Sorry. Just because it was all worth it. Just being able to see my baby for the first time and just being able to have that raw moment with my family and just be able to connect on a whole different level was so beautiful for all of us. Sorry, I know people get emotional about this stuff, but it's really a life-changing experience that it's really something you have to go through to really understand. Just being able to see him for the first time after waiting so long was just so beautiful for all of us. Like I said, I would go back and do it 100 times again with everything that I did just to meet him. And it's just the most beautiful thing in the world. He's perfect. He's healthy. I was expecting him to be a little bit bigger because of the gestational diabetes and the ultrasound. They said that he was probably going to be a big baby. But he's perfect. He's little petite. The newborn sizes didn't even fit him. They were too big for him. And he's a week, almost 2 weeks right now, and there's still a little baggy on him. So we're just really blessed. Alright guys, well I'm going to insert my vlogs and my clips. I wasn't able to film the labor and delivery just because of their policies at the hospital where I delivered. But coming up next is all the footage that I was able to get and pictures of baby's birth. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you like this video, and if you're new seeing my videos, go ahead and subscribe because there's lots more that are coming your way. So thank you guys for all the love and support, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! June 4th, it's about 5 o'clock in the morning. I just went to the restroom about 20 minutes ago and my water broke, so we are kind of headed to the hospital but making a pit stop to get some breakfast, just because I know that once they hook you up to the IV and stuff, they usually don't let you eat. So yay, we're gonna meet baby Ezra soon. Just excited, very nervous, very scared. Have his car seat all set up, so I'll see you guys next time. Just kind of walking around. Just here the machine, baby. This is where baby's gonna be when he comes out. Best friend Selena. We'll do a best friend tag sometime. And then my husband's over there at the window. That's where I lay down. So we're having contractions every 2 to 4 minutes. Baby's heartbeat's good. I'm gonna walk around for a little bit and see how I do. So see you guys soon. Just here laying down. Just got out of the tub a little bit ago. Contractions are getting intense. They're gonna come check me, see if I've dilated anymore. So we'll go from there. Hair's all crazy. There's Daddy. So we'll see how we're going. So I just got checked and I'm 7 centimeters dilated and 90% effaced. Whoa! Just got my epidural and everything is going good. I'm having contractions about 1 minute apart. Haven't had time to do anything with my hair or anything, so I look crazy. I was taking the IV medication, Ventolin or something like that, and that helped a lot because I got a dose right before my epidural, so it really calmed me down. So I'm just here in the room and we're just waiting around. They're gonna do a catheter here soon and then check me as well. So it's June 4th and it's almost 4 p.m. so we've been here since 5 o'clock this morning, so we'll see how everything goes.